Hey everyone, hope they're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We'll work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it, and if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. I dive deeper into these sectors looking for investment opportunities and sharing those opportunities with everybody in the community. We do midweek updates. I'll be releasing a midweek update here tonight for everybody to view on what my favorite companies and sectors and setups are in the market right now. Special is the coupon code for the monthly membership. 500YR is the coupon code for the yearly membership, and you can see those discounts in the description link below. All right, let's start with the DXY. Let's kick this thing off. We've got a weaker dollar today, but guys, this isn't done. We're going up. We're going up. And we had weaker yields today, but I think yields are going to go up too. Whenever I see these big, big green candlestick and then the small little flag pattern, that's a continuation pattern higher. So although we saw crude oil down today, I think it's only going to be temporary. I think that we're going to see, based off of what the candlesticks and how this is trading, this falling wedge and bottoming base pattern here, I think we're going higher in the dollar. I think we're going higher in yields. Uh, Crude oil is going to go higher, and the inflation trade is still on. So that's what I think. You can see that this is just a little pullback, continuation pattern higher. The 2-year yield is down 1%, but again, we've broken the bigger pattern here to the upside here. That's step number one, is to break that pattern. That's a huge, huge step. And then these are all downward facing patterns. So I think we're still good to go higher. I don't see a reversal candlestick. Still looks good. The 10 years broken to the upside. That's the big pattern there. And then we're still working our way up. We had a little bit of selling pressure today, or I should say buying pressure in bonds, downward move in yields. But I think this will continue higher unless they step in there and start buying a bunch of bonds. And the reason I have that opinion is because we just freshly broke out of this big, gigantic pattern to the upside. The 30-year is also broken to the upside. So this is your pattern, your consolidations there, and we've broken to the upside. Now, in order for them to reverse this, I mean, you need oil to go down, and I don't know how they're going to do that. And you need people to buy bonds and low inflation. It's like the exact opposite of everything we have going on today. TLT bond prices are up today, but I do think they're going to head lower. If you're in the higher yield camp, which is already broken out, you got to be in the lower bond price camp. The 2 and the 10, pretty much flat today, and we're in an uptrend where we're inverting the curve. The uptrend of that curve, the 2 going up more than the 10, is um, the trend. Well, that trend means that you've got more inflation in the system, and the yield curve inverts. TYX TNX ratio, again, we're heading lower over this time frame here. We were up a little bit today, but again, I think we're going to head. I think this is going to keep going down. We've got large red candlesticks, small greens, upward facing patterns. That's the characteristic of a down move. Gold is down 1.88%. We're getting that pullback there. And if yields continue to increase and the dollar continues to increase, the pressure will remain until market flows change. That is down right now. Silver's down 4.73, and I still think we could head lower. I don't see a reversal candlestick at this moment. Platinum's down 1.89, and again, this could still head a little bit lower. I don't see a reversal yet. I'll tell you when I see a reversal. So, I mean, that could happen at any second. So it's down at the moment. Palladium, we were up 1.78, still some downside pressure. We are contacting some support here from previous trading. So we're going to be getting to a support area where I think we'll find some support here soon. XEU to gold ratio is up just a teeny bit, which means that the gold and silver miners went down less than gold at this particular time. It's still cheap, still looks good. Nothing's changed on that front there. The GDX was down 1.4%. We do have a little wick at the bottom here. Is this a bottoming pattern? No, I wouldn't be too quick to jump on this. Higher interest rates, higher dollar, feeds in through potentially more consolidation of gold, which means more consolidation of GDX and all the mining companies. The GDXJ, again, we had a little bit of a bounce here, but again, I don't see the reversal in the physical metals, so therefore, I don't see the reversal in the miners yet, even though we could bounce up a little bit. SILJ, same thing. Crude oil is down 3.18. I think they crushed crude oil down, or maybe the market, whoever, and that brought yields down. So we did get a little wick at the bottom. We are still, uh, if you were to draw kind of a resistance trend lines here, support trend lines here, we're still in that general squeeze at this time if I were to leave that there. That doesn't mean that this triangle is 100%, correct drawn. Usually when you have very little consolidation time like we've got here, sometimes those standard lines don't work that well. So the way that I view it is we've got that big resistance, the purple there, that's your big resistance area up there. And that we've hit resistance, we've pulled on back, and we're probably going to do some sort of loop or flag pattern or consolidation here. We're just consolidating underneath resistance. TTF gas down 2.42. We are underneath critical resistance. Haven't broken out yet, but we've got our highs coming up here. So things are moving up into that resistance. And I think eventually we'll break it and have a big run. Natural gas in America down slightly underneath critical blue line resistance there. But yeah, not much really to talk about today. Still in an uptrend, just kind of just a regular down day. Boy, XOP, yeah, you know me. We are down 2.5% or so. That is also consolidating with oil. Kind of a similar setup there, perhaps. And we'll see what happens here next. The positive things here is we've got this gigantic shoulder, head, shoulder, inverted pattern, broken neckline. And this is just a consolidation on top of that, where I think we're going to head higher whenever the consolidation is complete. Raw physical uranium trust down a little bit. So we are seeing some selling pressure. It is working its way through a lot of these sectors. Gold, precious metals. We're seeing it in uranium. We're seeing it in the overall stock market. We're seeing it in Bitcoin. We're seeing it in a whole bunch of different things. Even in oil, it was down today. So we were getting some selling pressure today there. The uranium futures pricing is still holding pretty steady. Still looks good. URA, which is the equities, down today about 4%. We do have this nice little wick at the bottom. So we're starting to see these wicks show up at the bottom of a lot of these different sectors. It could mean that we try to get a bounce here, and we'll have to see if we get the bounce and how strong that bounce is if we get one. But right now, things still look a little bit weak. Uranium, same thing. We got that little wick at the bottom. We're seeing that, across the precious metals miners too. And we might find a bottom here. We'll see. We got to see it. URNJ, same thing. Nickel down a little bit. We're still above critical support of that blue line, which is on top of these turning points here. So that still looks okay. And you can draw this. A lot of people get real anal on how you draw these things, but it's some sort of flag pattern that's downward facing. It looks fine to go higher. Copper's down slightly. We are up above a lot of support. We are getting some selling pressure here. Now, there could be downside follow through here. That isn't a strong little setup there. You could say it's an inverted bloody nose or some sort of continuation pattern that could head a little bit lower in the short term. COPX down 1.34. It's got that wick at the bottom. There's some buying pressure towards the end of the day. What that looks like is you see selling pressure, and then towards the middle end, it started coming back up. That's the wick portion. So think of a broken downtrend line that's moved higher. And that's why you could see upside action in a variety of these things that have that wick at the bottom. Lithium, another wick at the bottom. There's some support that we're entering or are close by. So we'll see if we get a bounce or not. REMX up 0.7. Again, that wick is showing up at the bottom of all these. Iron ore still down. This looks like a little bit of a downward motion here recently. Maybe we're coming back to that support, the support trend line here. Maybe we tag that in a couple seconds here. Aluminum down 2%. That looks a little bit more ugly. It's a rising wedge that's broken to the downside. So that still has downside potential in the short term. Does not look pretty here with that selling pressure. Baltic Dry Index down slightly too. That's getting some selling pressure as well in the short term. Soybeans down slightly. And again, on these, I'm bullish because whenever you break next to these big bullish setups and then your base, generally you're working your way on up here. And eventually you get a bigger move. And that won't change tomorrow. It won't change the day after tomorrow. Like nothing's going to change here. Same with wheat. My opinions, again, are not going to change here. And corn, not going to change. Even if we come back here, it's still up. Emerging markets, we get a what, sideways dollar today. So yeah, sideways emerging markets. Looking a little bit better. Some buying pressure with the wick at the bottom. Moo, just heading lower. We're still above critical support. Everything still looks okay at the moment. We've got KRE was up quite a bit this morning, up 1.31, a little bit of a wick at the top there. These are sensitive to interest rates, so interest rates went down, but maybe it's foreshadowing interest rates going up tomorrow or something. That's it. XHB up 3.6. I think home sales were up, defying the laws of gravity that everyone else on Twitter and YouTube think. I'm a housing bull, but I'm like one in a million. Russell's up, but it was looking totally crappy. What they did is they pushed oil down, they pushed rates down, and they're trying to prop this up. Of course, you get this volatility kicking up, then they have to kick the volatility down. That's what they're doing. They're doing Operation Plunge Protection Team style from the Percent playbook. So SPX was barely down. You can see that was being held. It looked pretty ugly throughout the day. The NASDAQ was down earlier, getting a little wick at the bottom. They pushed it back up with yields dropping. DJT is way up. So this transportation index, it's a resilient little guy. It just keeps ripping higher. That means your economy is doing well, potentially. Or they're just faking it to make it look good. XLI up 1.13, still at resistance, but it could break here. I mean, the lows are coming up. We're trying. It's coming, and then you got some resistance right through here that we're trying to break through. Bitcoin's down 2%. That still looks like absolute garbage. Ethereum looks like it's trying to do something here. That is a reversal type move, but it's in front of a gigantic cliff of, this is like a cliff diver, and this could be like a dead cat bounce that works its way on up for a little bit, creates some sort of rising wedge pattern, flag pattern, whatever, and then dumps again. Maybe if rates continue higher, which I think is going to happen, and dollar goes up, some of these they could eat it. They could. MicroStrategy eating an 8% down day today. I don't think this looks good. We're right at this like support area, dude. If it falls, it would look pretty ugly, and that would also suggest that fractal I put there, that could play out pretty similar to this. It really could. The VIX is up 5%, but I know they knocked it down. They don't want this flying higher and getting everybody afraid and the volatility kicking way up. So the PPT, which is the plunge protection team, if you don't think they exist, go look it up. Ask AI, what is the plunge protection team? It'll tell you when it was created, and that I'm not actually lying. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Look for a midweek update release here soon. It's after market close, and that's where I share my opinions about individual companies, what I think looks good. So that's what I've got for today, guys. We'll catch you next time. See ya.